too much bullshit slide. We do. We let bullshit slide. You know, when we don't show up at these police officers' house when they kill an innocent child, we're basically saying it's okay for you to shoot our children. And I know that's not okay. I know that if a police officer shoots my child, I'm banging on that motherfucking police officer's door, demanding him to come outside and face me. But when we don't take it upon ourselves to invest within our own community, this is the results that we get from other people. Other people are showing us how we treat each other by what we allow. So I'm releasing this video to basically, put my little 2 cents in on how we as Black people can elevate. Because I feel it happening. I feel like it's already happening. But I would like to kind of reiterate that, the reason why we are not necessarily moving at the pace that we want to move at as far as success is because we don't look out for each other. And we let too much bullshit slide from Massa. Okay, fuck Massa. Massa could eat dick for all I care. Fuck that nigga. We need to stand up for our human rights. It's just that simple. And the moment that we start standing up for our human rights as a race, then we will be acknowledged. Because let's not get it twisted. It's some non-Black people who like to play that game of, I don't see color. I don't see color, but yet they're treating you differently than they're treating the next person. They're looking at you, following you around the store, telling you to hurry up and buy, but they're not doing that to the next person. When they look at you in the eyes, they look at you with, content. But when they look at the next person, they're all cheeky. So it's like, don't be fooled by that I don't see color bullshit. They see it. And when we as a Black community, when we revolt, they're going to be forced to see that. If they haven't already. Which I feel like, us protesting so many goddamn times, I feel like, yeah, they do see it, but it's not enough. It's not enough for us to protest and riot. It's not enough. It's not enough, Black community. I hate to sound like one of those people where it's like, no matter what we do, we still gonna be niggas. Like, I'm not one of those type of people. I'm just saying that rioting and protesting, it's not enough. We need to send the right message. Not the same message, the right message. We're sending the same messages over and over and over again. They're not getting it. But I bet you they'll get it if we start showing up at people's houses. I'm just saying, I know if I was a police officer and I killed an innocent kid because of their race, and whatever race of people of the child that I murdered, if they showed up at my house, I know I'd be scared shitless. I know I would be calling my boss and be like, look, oh my God, these Black people, they're here. And I see Black people and I don't know what to do, I'm just gonna keep it real. I know if that was me and I killed an innocent black man or innocent Black woman, and the person that I murdered and their family showed up at my house, I know if I was a cop, I wouldn't dare not now pick up a gun unless I had to. Like, I just know it sends the right message, though. I bet if we show up, if we start showing up at people's houses, they won't be doing that. I bet police officers won't be doing that no more. How much you want to bet? Because they're people just like me and you. They got families just like me and you. Us showing up at the police stations ain't doing nothing, sweethearts. It's not. These police officers don't value us. They don't. They've shown that more than once. In the most recent, times where we have seen it, what was that, like a few years ago, 2 years ago? And in the last time where somebody got beat the crap out of, that was 91. What, Rodney King, 91? That was 91. He got beat like it was the 50s. Like, the police are showing us how they feel about us. It's been made clear. But I bet each and every police officer that has killed an innocent person, I bet if we start showing up at their house and warning them, just simply warn, we don't need to get violent, we don't need to be hostile, but warning them, put your hands on another black child again and see what's going to happen to you. Because at this point, it's gotten past the point. It's gotten past federal. Federal's gonna know we not playing when we take matters into our own hands. It's just that simple. Because federal think we playing. We're not playing with federal anymore. We the black community, we need to stop being so damn scared of federal. Fuck them. They're people just like us. And when they know we're not playing about our rights, and when they know we're not playing about our youth, and when they know that we're not playing about our security and our safety, how much you want to bet they're going to back off? How much? Because they're bullies. The government, the politics, they're all bullies. All of them. They're all bullies. And then if we take our emotions out of the situation, right, and we just look at the individual, most people are only responding based off of what they've been taught. Well, we know the shitty education system that's in the public schools. In the private schools, it's not much better. So we know the shitty education that they give us. You know, the watered down history and the watered down information. We know that they're giving us shitty information. So, we have to take into consideration that those who are non-black are raised off of what we're taught in school. And most of us black people are still recovering from the mental, we could just call it what it is, mental abuse from, being miseducated in the school systems. We black people, we're still recovering from Stockholm syndrome, from recovering from what the modern day education system is no different from a prison industry. It's funded by the prison industry, so it's no different, really. And us black people, we're still recovering from the miseducation that we learned from in school about our own history. So, we have to understand what non-black people, what they've learned. Like, we really have to like have that conversation. Non-black people have been told all their lives that they were born of royalty. And that's not true. Just like black people have been lied to our whole lives, and we've been told that we are born of impoverishment, that we are the immigrants. We were lied to, and this is exactly why the black community won't prosper. Because not only have we been lied to in the education system, but for those who do know, anytime for the black people who are aware and awake, anytime those particular conscious black people try to educate others, those are a lot of the times the people that get scapegoated within the black community. Is that true or is that not true? Those are the first people who are scapegoated. The first people who everybody turns on all the time. They did it to Martin Luther King, they did it to Malcolm X, and they won't stop. And then, for those who, for the black people that actually want to learn something, those people get made fun of. Oh, you a nerd. Oh, you want to learn something? Oh, you want to do that? You boring. So it's like you can't win for losing, bro. And that's toxic. You know what I'm saying? Like, we really, like, we as black people, we need to stop doing that shit. Like, seriously. Tearing another person down for wanting to either grow and expand their mindset or to teach others. It's like, you know what I'm saying? We need to stop. Like, we need to stop, like, putting each other down. We need to stop being so verbally abusive towards each other. Like, look, I understand. A lot of us, we come from humble beginnings. On top of the fact that, a lot of our parents told us that we couldn't do it, or a lot of our parents didn't support us unless we pursued the careers they wanted us to pursue. So I understand the trauma that comes from making those type of statements. But we need to stop doing that shit. Because when we look around and all we see is black people struggling and poor and don't own anything. The reason why that's happening is because, I mean, look at the way we talk to each other. I mean, go to your nearest gas station, go to the nearest hood, and observe black people talk to each other for just 5 minutes. And you'll see exactly, you don't even have to be black to see what I'm talking about. Just go anywhere where you see a significant amount of black people and just observe the way we talk to each other. Our families. Go to a black family and see the way that they talk to each other. You know, in the hood specifically is what I'm referring to, but just an unhealthy interaction, period. Like the way we talk to each other, the way we put each other down, the way we go out of our own way to inconvenience each other. We inconvenience ourselves just to inconvenience the next person. For what? Dominance, power, control? I mean, what is it all about? At the end of the day, when our legacy, could get destroyed. Like I mean, I get it. It's not personal, but like, I mean, it's just bullshit. It's bullshit. And I can no longer sugarcoat and give, the black community credit for bullshit. It's okay for us to, sit down and have a conversation. It's okay for us to disagree with each other, but what's not okay is us over talking each other, putting each other down, being untrustworthy towards each other. It's just not necessary. I really don't see how we're benefiting in the long run. I mean, even for the selfish black people out there that are only looking out for self. Like, at what point, are you not going to need your community for your legacy? If it's, I'm only looking out for self, who's going to be there for you when you need it the most? And then for the for the black community, I mean, for those within the black community that want to be the villain. And the villains of the black community is who I'm talking about specifically. The ones that, the players, the pimps, the hoes, the thotties, the the narcissists, I don't know, just the scumbags, the scrubs of the black community, the ones who just want to be the villain. They may not even be a bum. They may just be a villain. They may just want to be a villain for no reason. My question for you all is, when you have turned your back on your community, what types of people were you able to attract? When you turned your back on your own community, what types of people did you attract? That's the question I want to ask. For the people who like to be the villain, for whatever reason, it doesn't matter what reason it is specifically, but what type of people did you attract when you turn your back on your own community? I'm not making this about a race thing. I'm making this about a community thing. When you said, for whatever reason, whether it's I'm turning in my black card or, just flat out Uncle Ruckus with it, or, just, whether you gave up on the black community or, you were oppositional to the black community, when you decided to make that choice, what type of people did you attract? That's the question that I want to ask. The statement that I wanted to make towards the villains of the black community really is just, we kind of need you, but I'm just going to keep it real with you. For the villains of the black community, we kind of need you, but it's not for the reasons that you think. We need you in order to kind of make an example for the rest of the community not to follow in your footsteps, and also how we can learn from your mistakes. I'm just going to keep it real. So if you are a black person, black male, black female, black child, black adult, and you choose to be a villain of the black community, know that when you make that decision, we as a collective, we look at you as the black sheep, number one. And number two, you are often at times putting yourself in a position to be made an example out of. And one thing I've known growing up with black people is anybody's worst nightmare is being the scapegoat or a black sheep within the black community or a black family. Being capped on within the black community alone is painful. So imagine, the entire community not only being disappointed in you, not respecting you, disliking you, not saying very positive things about you, but your motives are kind of laid out on a platform as like basically on what not to do. I mean, if you're okay with that, if that doesn't bother you, you're okay with that, then fine, do you. But for those who choose to be the villain, I'm just gonna keep it real with you and let you know that that's how you are perceived by the rest of us. And trust me, we black people, we can debate all day and all night, but there's a difference between articulating different viewpoints and just being flat out oppositional in every which way. So that's pretty much how the black community destroys itself.